Okay, folks, here we go. As you know, I just reviewed the classic, the film that gets so much hate because of how dark it is, and we want it to be safe and marketable, which is what we have right now. And so far, I really enjoyed those three, but my favorite of all of them is always the first movie. So, Batman Forever was a big hit, and when the studio saw it, the box office saw it, it was like, we gotta make another one. And we gotta sell some more toys, we gotta make it more kid friendly to hope that they'll make a huge $100 and we're gonna make this the best multi-million dollar franchise ever. Batman and Robin from 1997, the fourth and final chapter of the Burton Schumacher era, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Uma Thurman, Alicia Silverstone, a Joe Schumacher film, straight, courage always, truth, family above all, Batman and Robin. Directed by Joel Schumacher, music by Emily Gosel, Pierre Merzga returning as director, Akiva Goldsman returning as writer, but Tim Burton is not involved with this production, so he just escaped after producing Batman Forever. So, I do remember the commercials out of this film as a kid, and I've always wanted to see this movie on the big screen, but sadly I did not. But want to go see it instead? The Disney film Hercules. That's the film I wanted to go see instead of this. So my mom and my aunt and my grandmother took us to see a Disney film, Hercules, as opposed to seeing this movie. And that really ticks me off because I don't want to see Hercules. I want to see Batman and Robin because I love Batman. And I'm wearing this shirt. Mom! But anyway. But of course, I didn't see this film until when it came on VHS. And I do remember watching that movie on VHS, which I don't know how many times, because I just want to see this film because it's Batman. And I love Batman. But, of course, as time went on, of course, yeah. I mean, as a kid, I really loved this movie. I really loved this movie. I thought it was fun. It has a little more toys and more excitement and all this stuff in it. Of course, I said toys because this is a movie that's trying to sell toys. Especially if you watch the features of this film. Chris O'Donnell did say when he was making Batman Forever, he felt like he was making a movie. But as for this one, Batman and Robin, he felt like he was making like a toy commercial. This movie, still, believe it or not, it does feel more like a toy commercial. So, without further ado, here's how the whole backstory came to be for Batman and Robin. So, anyway, while making Batman Forever, Joel Schumacher and Val Kilmer did not get along on set, which is saying it goes to Jim Carrey and Tommy Jones, with Tommy Jones cannot stand Jim Carrey's buffoonery. So, of course, Val Kilmer left the project for the film, especially he was too busy working on a movie called The Saints. So they were searching for other actors to replace Kilmer as the next Batman. There were one of them was William Baldwin, but they settled for George Clooney because of his well-known TV show called ER. And before Arnold Schwarzenegger won the role as Mr. Freeze, which of course that's what Schumacher wanted, they were also been suggesting someone like Sylvester Stallone and Patrick Stewart for Mr. Freeze, which Patrick Stewart to me would have been a much better choice for the part, but Schumacher wanted a big guy to play a part. Not sure about Stallone since he already played a bad comic book superhero movie that was Judge Dredd, which came out the same year as Batman Forever. And of course, the film itself, Batman Robin, it was completed on a fast track production so they could get it released in June of 1997, and the film was heavily marketed for being toyetic, which Schumacher was so critical about it, especially he called it being toyetic because of they sell the toys, they make the toys, and just make it for the kiddies. And of course, the film came out on June 12th, but it was released on June 20th, 1997. It was trashed by the critics, but it was a box office failure by grossing $107.3 million against its $125 million budget. No Oscars were given, but it had a buttload of Razzies. So, forgive me if I'm going to look my notes down because there's a lot to go over about what win and what did not win. But here's what the Razzies were. As I wrote it down, it only won Worst Supporting Actress Alicia Silverstone for her performance as Batgirl, and the Worst Picture was given to The Postman as well as Kevin Costner for Worst Director. Chris O'Donnell and Arnold Schwarzenegger were both in the Worst Supporting Actor category, but Dennis Rodman won the role for the Razzie for Devil Team. And George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell were nominated for Worst Screen Couple, but it was given to both Rodman and Jean-Claude Van Damme for Devil Team. Furthermore, it was also nominated for Worst Screenplay, but given to The Postman. Smashing Pumpkins song, The End is the Beginning of the End, was nominated for Worst Song, but given to all the songs in The Postman. The film was also nominated for Worst Reckless Disregard for Human Life and Public Property and Worst Remake or Sequel, but both were given to Con Air and Speed 2, Cruise Control. So I guess the Rising Star Speed 2 is worse than Batman Robin. And of course, yeah, the franchise was put to rest until there's one filmmaker that came out to renew the franchise, and his name was Christopher Nolan, which will go on to create one of the greatest, if not the greatest, comic strip of all time, known as the Dark Knight trilogy. So, like I said, I really love this movie. And now this is probably my third video on my YouTube channel where I review something that's really bad. The first was Jurassic Park 3, which is okay. Second was the ill-fated 2016 reboot of Ghostbusters, which I'm not a fan of. And now this one, yeah. However, if I have a confession to make, I can't hate this film. And now you'll be scratching your hands and going like, what? This film to me, I'm going to say this right now, it's a guilty pleasure. Then you're probably wondering, what makes you think this film is a guilty pleasure to you personally? Well, for starters, I'm a Batman fan. And I love Batman very much. So that's one reason. And two, I grew up with this film and I watched it as a kid. Even when I put that movie on, when I was watching, I was just like, And the actors of this film, Arnold Schwarzenegger, George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Uma Thurman, and Silverstone, those are really good actors, but they would have been fine. I mean, they were cast in a much better product as opposed to the one they were given. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, who I really loved him since the Terminator films, but it would have been great if Schwarzenegger had to say these ridiculous puns about ice, like, the Iceman comments. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Cool party. Alright, everyone. Chill. Let's kick some ice. It's been nothing but ice puns. And Chris O'Donnell in this film, he just took it to a whole new level of whininess. Like, it's Batman, Robin, not Robin, it's Batman, and I'm sick of it. I mean, I like Chris O'Donnell, but I mean, dude, you need to line up. In the later Silverstone, which of course I do love from the movie called Clueless, but the way she portrayed this film, she doesn't go out as Commissioner Gordon's daughter, but instead she's Alfred Pennyworth's niece, known as Barbara Wilson. And she has no British accent, so that pretty much comes to another problem in the film. She had no British accent. Which would have totally shown someone who could pull a British accent, or you could have cast someone to play British. As in a British Batgirl. Oh, Bruce, it's me, it's Barbara. I found the Batcave. It was bloody marvelous. Send me up, Uncle Alfred. We're the kids in America. Yeah, it's really when she shows out. You might as well let her put on a song called We're the Kids in America. Which, I believe it or not, my Aunt Misty is a big fan of the movie Clueless. If that's true. And Uma Thurman, which of course I do like her in Pulp Fiction, the first two Kill Bill movies. Well, actually, I didn't see Kill Bill 2. I only saw the first one, which I really enjoyed her. She was awful as Poison Ivy, especially on screen, especially when she was at that costume body Paul thing. Party ball. Especially, I'm just missing my own words after just what this movie is doing to me. It's messing up my own brain here. I bet $50,000 for Poison Ivy. $100,000, and I bet $500,000. $1 million. $2 million. You don't have it. $2 million. I borrow from you. $4 million. $5 million. It's a utility bill. $9 million bill. $6 million. $7 million. Cha-ching! Nearly be the kid without it. Of course, yes. Aside that Schumacher put nipples on the Batsuit, as well as the butts and the cod pieces being large, and Batman going on ice skating. If this could get anything more stupider, besides Mr. Freeze's bad, cheesy one-liners that deal with eyes, we get to have which, of course, yeah, it does become like a famous, well-known gag from the TexasFilmCritic when he says that about that Batman is given a bad credit card. So yeah, the bad credit card. And hey, I know you're probably gonna hate me for saying this, but that could be some collectible item I would collect just to remind myself about the movie, because the bad credit card is so infamous it has to be seen in Batman and Robin. Bad credit card. I would like to have a bad credit card of my own. Yeah, I mean, I love these actors, but sadly, just not given the right script. That Schwarzenegger should just tone down with his icy puns. Chris Darnell for his whininess. Alicia herself for like a British accent. Uma Thurman just taking on her time scream, especially Ellie Gould's music and playing that jazzy saxophone music, which it kind of hurts the film. So, which she's just embarrassing to watch. Especially I had to look my head down and I was like, oh my goodness. Hello, Chase. Am I It's like, oh my goodness. Like, oh, Zerman, come on. You were nominated for an Oscar for Pulp Fiction, and come on. Oh, yes. And let's talk about George Clooney. George Clooney, to me, is not the problem. And honestly, I don't think he was the bad choice for this role. It sounds like a good choice. He could make an excellent Bruce Wayne. I mean, actually, he was already excellent as Bruce Wayne to begin with. He's charming. He has the playboyness. The only problem is him playing Batman. The one thing that's lacking is his bad voice. And I could see George Clooney in a role like this when he's playing Batman. But not in this movie, but more like, something like these movies. Give it someone more like the tormented, the psychology of Bruce Wayne, especially he's a bit of an elder age man, but he's been fighting crime all his life as Batman, especially he's trying everything he can to save for the people of Gotham. So, either way, George Clooney deserves a much better material to play Batman. And I like George Clooney. I do like him from Dusk Till Dawn, I do like him in Gravity, I do like him Up in the Air, as well as Ocean 11. George Clooney could make a good Batman. Just not in this movie, no. And Schumacher, of course, he actually did say that he apologizes about this film. That wasn't his intention, was to entertain him. Especially, of course, he says in the features that the studio told him to do it. And I know that people, they said that on these features for this film, they said that they would have gone darker than Batman Forever, but they didn't. They went with the way it was because of the studio told them to do it. So I guess, you could blame Joe Schumacher for all this, which I know he should have never put nipples on the Batsuit, put the bad credit card, but it's really the studio. Because why? Because they listened to the parents who complained about Returns. So maybe you could say it's probably the parents' fault for their criticisms of Batman Returns being too dark, and so they could take their kids to go see this film. Well, if you're not expecting the same good old happy-lucky Batman like the 60s show, then go watch the 60s. Okay, Batman is supposed to be a dark superhero who hides in the shadow, who fights crime, and really has a scene of his own way. That's what Batman is. He's not some guy who likes to crack puns and anything like that. That's the 60s. And the 60s was way past our time. It's like, come on. Don't you have brains? But thankfully, Chris Nolan came in to redeem the series, which of course I'll get to later on, because right now I just need a break after watching this movie. And also, we're in the month of October, and I gotta review some horror films. So, And the action scenes, of course, is really not all that exciting and everything. But the soundtrack, there are some songs I like. I do like the song "It's the Beginning Is the End" by the Smashing Pumpkins, which of course I do like the version that was featured in the Watchmen teaser trailer, which I really loved. Which of course I used to have a soundtrack for Batman Forever, but don't have actually Batman Forever. Batman Robin. See, this is what this movie's doing, is messing my head around. I mean, I had the Batman Forever soundtrack for the records, but not the other soundtrack that has all the songs. But for Batman Robin, I used to have the soundtrack, which is what I meant to say, but I don't have it anymore. And with Golan's music, it's there, it's fine, but still, you still can't beat Danny Elfman's. Nope. And look at Gotham City, it still is pretty cool to look at, despite that you see some naked statues and all, especially Joe Schumacher's sexuality, but yeah, but that's a whole different topic here. But it is bright and colorful, but it does become far more campier than Batman Forever, which it did not need to be. And of course, you have G. Swinson, who also plays Bane in the film, which all he does is nothing going like Frankenstein. Again, Chris Nolan will redeem that character for Bane when he's played by Tom Hardy in The Dark Knight Rises. And the movie itself, it does try to have some serious moments, but sadly it fails, especially when this movie is overshadowed by its camp factor, where you have Bruce Wayne having some flashbacks during his childhood, where you have young Bruce Wayne, played by Eric Lloyd, who is well known for the Santa Claus movies, as well as Mr. Freeze trying to have a moment with his wife, who's dying of a McGregor syndrome disease, which of course they tried to hit on the Heart of Ice thing, like the anime series. Which sadly, the Batman anime series does a much better job with the character of Mr. Freeze than what Batman Robin did. And hey, a year later after Batman Robin, there was a movie called Sub-Zero, which came out straight to video, made by the same people who made the anime series, as well as Mask of the Phantasm. And that is a much better Batman film with Mr. Freeze than Batman Robin. So I recommend watching Sub-Zero over this. And of course, at the end, it does set up for a sequel, which sadly it does. So that Batman and Batgirl are partners, and Albert goes, "We're going to need the bigger cave." And of course, what leads up to, of course, the new one we're now going to see called Batman Triumphant. So, sadly, we're not going to see any more Batman films until 2005. So, if I were to rate this movie, I like the cast in this film, but sadly not the best they were given. It is a good looking film, but not the same as Burton's. I do like some songs like Gotham City of R. Kelly, The End is the Beginning is the End, as well as Lazy Eyes by Google Dolls. And yeah, that's about it. But everything I just said, it's just bad. So I guess for Batman Robin, how do I rate this film? I just give Batman Robin a D. Yeah, just a D. But for his guilty pleasure level, I guess it's more like a B. So I do appreciate it if that's a guilty pleasure movie, but yeah, it is a bad film. So yeah, not a great movie, but it's not the end of the franchise until Chris Nolan came in. So that's my review of the Batman films, and now I have just finally completed reviewing this film, and that film, and that film, and this film. So, and I'll get this 4K Blu-ray sometime down the road. So yeah, I'm finally done reviewing the Batman films, and now I just need to take a break from it, and I'll start reviewing some horror movies. And I know the one I'm going to review to start my review of horror films, just review some, and that is Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. So anyway, that's my review of the Batman films. I hope you enjoyed them for my reviews of the Tim Burton movies and the Joel Schumacher movies. So tell me, What is your favorite Batman film of this era for Burton/Schumacher? Let me know. And also, what do you think of this video? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Feel free to put your comments down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I will see you later when I start reviewing some horror movies. Thank you, and take care. Bye.